Oh, I can already tell this is such a long video. You guys are going to be so annoyed. But there's so many tips that you need to learn about, so just sit back and listen. Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking all things content creation. If I was starting completely from scratch as like a content creator, what would I do? But before we get into today's video, I feel like I need to say sorry. I know it has been like a month and a half since I last posted. I promised myself that I wasn't going to be like that this time. It ends now. But in case you can't hear from my voice, I've been ill for like the last week and a half, so YouTube video just was not in the books for me. So I went away the week before and just a lot has happened and my life has become really busy, but it's all settled and calmed down now, so I'm ready to get back to it and stay consistent. I thought I'd just quickly have a little catch up before we get into the main video, just to tell you what's been going on while I've been away. But if you don't want to hear about all of that and you want to skip straight to the tips, this is the time to skip to. So, where have I been? What's been happening? What updates do I have to give you? I have a couple. For one, I finally quit my boring retail job and I no longer work for the man, you know? I'm my own boss. I'm a girl boss, okay? I'm a business girly pop, whatever you want to call it. I now do social media full time and it's really fun. A little bit daunting, a little bit scary, you know? But I'm slowly getting the hang of it. I've literally been doing it for like 2 weeks, I'd say. So I'm trying not to stress myself out too much and be like, oh my God, you have to make like £1 million in the first month. Literally never gonna happen. But yeah, so that's fun. I no longer work again in retail. It was time for me to go. It really was. It was time for me to go actually like 6 months ago, but here we are. I finally left. No boyfriend still. I feel like I have to put that on the little update. Okay, marital status is still nilch and she's happy about that. She is. Don't worry. She's a happy gal. What else? Oh yeah! Okay, the exciting one. I got hair extensions. So they look absolutely gorgeous. They are 22 inches long. They're from ClipHair. They're the Remy Human Hair extensions, tape-ins. And they're in the shade, can you believe it, Barbie Blonde. Who's obsessed? I know I am. I actually have a code as well that I'll pop in the description box below if you want to treat yourself to tapes. Any kind of extensions from ClipHair, clip-ins especially. I'll pop a little code down below for you guys. But look how pretty! The colour match is literally insane. Like you wouldn't know where my hair is. These are actually, they've been in for about 3 weeks now and they're like, I think they're growing out by like an inch. So fingers crossed when I take these out my hair's actually long, because I go on holiday in a couple of weeks. I've got 2 holidays coming up and I don't want them in for my holidays. As much as I would love to have long hair when I go on holiday, I just think like going in the sea and like constantly in and out of the pool, I don't trust myself that they won't get all matted and go green. So I'm going to give my scalp a little break while I go on holiday and put them back in. Aren't we just obsessed? Yeah, there's not much more to add, so I guess let's just get straight on with the video. I apologise in advance if I end up going off on a tangent. That is just how I talk and get my point across. You just have to cross a lot of other bridges to get to the point. So you want to start content creation. You want to become an influencer maybe. You want to start a side hustle maybe, bring in a little extra cash. You want to try new products that get sent to you for free. Or maybe you just want to build a community of people who like the same things that you do. Well, have no fear, my love, because I have all of my tips and tricks that I personally think will help you if I was starting completely from scratch in content creation, building a social media presence. What would I do? Well, it's all written down in my lovely little butterfly notebook, so let's get straight on with it. I need to find my page. Turns out I have a lot more thoughts than I thought I did, so let's just get going. Now, there is the obvious ones of using trending audios when you post 2 to 3 times a day, be super consistent and active, tag brands in every single thing that you use and post. And yes, while those things do work, and I'm going to touch on them in this video and talk about, you know, obviously why they're beneficial and what they actually help you do, I have a few more tips that help with actually creating the content and getting yourself ready to actually post and feeling comfortable with it as well, that we're going to touch on today. For starters, I have 2 words for you. Just post, because you never know. No matter what it is, just get initially comfortable with putting yourself out on social media. The idea of having your face, your voice, your hands, no matter what kind of content you're posting, just get comfortable with the idea that that is going to be your social media presence, what people are going to know you for and recognise about your videos. Just get to grips with that. And obviously, to go along with that, have public accounts. I know it seems like such a simple thing, but I feel like some people do forget your account needs to be public in order for people to see it. If you want to actually grow like a huge following, you want brands to recognise you, you want people to just happen across your content either on a For You page or on the explore feed on Instagram, your account needs to be public so that way anyone can access it. I know that sounds scary, but in this industry, it's kind of necessary. The next next tip I would say is don't stress too much about settling down on a niche straight away. Can eventually, you know, once you realise what content's doing well, what your followers like to see, what you enjoy posting, then kind of create that little box of where you're going to stick, and then eventually sometimes branch out but stick to your sort of core videos. But if you're just starting off, I don't think you need a niche, because that will come with posting, finding out what your followers want to see from you, and out what brands are reaching out to you in terms of what you're posting. A niche will be built without you realising it. Along with that, don't be afraid of changing your niche along the lines. Now, I know this is a bit of a controversial one because some people say stick to what you know, stick to the status quo, and then occasionally branch out with the odd video, see if it works, and if not, go back to what you know. Me personally, I have changed my niche a few times. For example, my personal content creation journey. I started my TikTok back in 2020. I was posting TikTok dances. It was lockdown. That was what people were posting. And that was pretty much all my content. I did the odd like sketching video, I think, of me like drawing or whatever, but for the most part it was TikTok dances. They were trending, it was popular, that was all the app was sort of known for, coming from Musical.ly, and I built up a following of around 30k, which was doing pretty well. Coming out of lockdown, I started to get Draco Talk come up on my For You page. Now, if you're not familiar, and I don't know how you couldn't be, because it was everywhere from like 2020 to like sort of 2022. It's Draco Malfoy Talk. Harry Potter TikTok absolutely took over my life. And if you scroll back far enough on my TikTok, you will see it. It was a moment. It was an era. It was a whole era. I got swept up by that, and you know, for the first like month I was just constantly consuming content about Harry Potter and Draco Malfoy. So eventually I thought, you know what, I'm going to branch away from TikTok dances, and I posted my first Harry Potter POV in like September or October, I think. It did really well, and from then on I started posting more and less dances, and eventually from like the sort of blend, you had like dances, the odd Harry Potter thing, the odd dance, and then fully just Harry Potter. My account skyrocketed. I think I went from 30k to like nearly 100k within a few months, and skyrocketed again. I think I got up to like 180k by, I want to say, the start of 2023. There was a lot to work with there. I definitely hold my hands up and say that Harry Potter and like Marvel, Spider-Man sort of content was the main reason for my TikTok to grow. I don't think I'd be anywhere near 200k right now if that wasn't a phase of my life, so I'm very grateful for it. Don't see myself really going back very soon. I do occasionally post the odd thing about Harry Potter or Marvel if it's like sort of relevant, but mainly my content now, which I kind of switched over to beginning of last year, is pink girly like fashion beauty lifestyle content. In hindsight, it is the most marketable, it's the way I was going to reach out to the most brands. It's more trending content as well, and also it's what I'm passionate about. I love styling outfits, I love doing my makeup, I love being a fun pink girly pop, and it was time to show that. I had spent a couple of years in the whole dark green Slytherin phase, which, don't get me wrong, still love the colour, it was fun, but for the most part I am a pink princess girly girl, and I always have been, always will be, and that's my official niche. Okay, now that you're all caught up and you see how I've changed, I wanted to do, to be fair, even last year, through the most part of 2023, I was posting sort of girly content, but it was more just fashion outfits, makeup occasionally. And then when I painted my room, I think in like, what was it, September, and made everything pink and gold and fully embraced the modern day princess thing that I've loved ever since a little girl, ever since she discovered Cinderella. I really now feel like me, and I feel like this is definitely where I'm staying. Pink girly pops rise. That was super long-winded, but I wanted to give you an anecdote of my personal journey so you can see how I started and how I grew to where I am now, and to show you that it is okay to not narrow down on one niche straight away, or even at all. Don't necessarily need one. It just helps your followers know what to expect from you, know the types of videos. That doesn't mean one specific type of video. I personally, on my TikTok right now, post morning and evening like aesthetic videos, which are not realistic. I just want to say, I do not wake up with perfect hair and, you know, stroll into my bathroom, take a lovely warm shower, do my gorgeous pink skincare and make myself, you know, chocolate milk every morning. I'd love to say that that's how it happens, but most mornings don't look like that. Take my content with a pinch of salt. It's meant to look aesthetically pleasing, not realistic. My content is realistic, you'll know it. It's when I'm doing vlogs of coming shopping with me or running errands and stuff like that, or if I say a realistic day in my life, you know that that's the full truth. That is what I'm up to. Also post the occasional, you know, get ready with me, makeup, doing my outfit, doing my hair, just fun girly things that I know the girlies will appreciate. Before I move on to the next tip, actually starting from scratch, what do you need? Your phone. Genuinely, that is all you need. People stress about getting all this camera equipment, tripods, box lights, you know, green screens sometimes, which I do personally own all of that stuff. Honestly, don't need it. In general, I think natural lighting looks better for videos. Unless, of course, there's sort of things that you're specifically doing at night or you don't have time to film in the day. If you work like a 9 to 5, believe me, I get that. I was working in a children's nursery a couple of years ago during my Draco Talk era. All of my videos were filmed at night. Pitch black, I needed a ring light or box light, obviously, so you could be able to see me. But I'm just saying, in general, I don't think they are completely necessary to create quality content. You just need your phone. The camera is probably good enough. They design phone cameras to be that good nowadays. Natural lighting is perfectly fine, even if it's not a particularly sunny day. This is a miserable sort of grey looking day and I think the lighting's not terrible. And anything's a tripod. You will be surprised how creative you can get. Pile some boxes up, lean against. As long as the speakers on your phone aren't muffled into something soft like a blanket or a bed, the audio quality is going to be fine. I think that's my main tip for starting with content creation. Don't think that you need to go out and spend hundreds on tripods and equipment when your equipment is literally around you naturally. Next tip, posting on multiple platforms and using the same content. A lot of people do this. I personally do it. Most people use the same TikTok that they just posted 2 days ago to then use as an Instagram reel and then post it on Pinterest, use it on Like to Know It to boost an outfit and boost commission links. You can use the same content. No one expects you to create a million different videos for TikTok and a million different videos for Instagram. It's there for a reason. And if you think about it, at the end of the day, there is people who love Instagram, don't have TikTok. There are people who love TikTok and don't have Instagram. Reaching 2 different audiences without even realising it, using the same content, and you don't have to do any extra work. It's a good tip. This may seem obvious, again, but post about things that you enjoy. Post about things that excite you, that you can genuinely see. I can see through the camera that you actually like talking about. Rather than thinking, I've just got to stick to things that are trending. I've got to talk about this new lip oil because it's come out and everyone's talking about it. I don't use lip oils, so maybe I don't want to talk about it. I think you can naturally tell in a video whether you're actually genuinely enthusiastic about what you're talking about. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to be selfish. I know that this is, again, another controversial one. A lot of people say that you should do content for your followers that they want to see. But if you post stuff that you genuinely enjoy making and people can see that you've put the effort in and you actually had fun creating your content, they're going to feel that through the content, and that's what's going to make them enjoy watching it, because that's how you build a community. Like I said before, you want to create a little base of people, or a big base of people, depending on how it goes, of people who enjoy and like the same things and have the same enthusiasm about what you're talking about. They'll appreciate that and they'll keep coming back to watch your content, expecting and hoping the same sort of thing. In retail, it is known as customer loyalty. It's the same principle. Next one, this is a quick little one. Editing apps. Get yourself familiar with a good editing app. CapCut, I personally think, is all you need. I edit my TikToks and my YouTube videos on there. I edit everything on there and it's free. You can go pro, I think, to get more features, but the basics that you need for a TikTok or a YouTube, if you're just posting a vlog or just a sitting down talkative video like this, CapCut. Super easy to figure out, lots of cool features, split and cut and add on typing text and things like that. Interesting effects. If you're into doing like animation and stuff, I'm afraid I can't help you. I don't know how to do half of that stuff. I used to use like green screen as well that I used on CapCut when I did my Harry Potter POVs. It's a good app. This is not sponsored. I wish it was. The next tip is another one that you probably think, well, duh, but be yourself. Again, 2 little words. Be yourself. People will come back to your page to see you. This is mainly for people who are obviously sitting directly in front of the camera, talking face to face, interacting, breaking that fall with your followers. Sounds so simple, but I do feel like it's something that people forget. It also just genuinely makes it easier on you because you don't feel like you have to try so hard to be, you know, what is trending or to be what you think your followers want, because chances are they're coming back to just see your personality, the way that you talk about things, personal style, maybe the way you style your hair, anything like that that you just naturally do in your real life anyway. Be that person online. For example, this is something that I've tried to deny for a little while that I do, but I've noticed that I do, and honestly, my followers don't seem to mind and no one seems to like negatively pick up on it. If you go through my videos, you will notice the videos where I'm dressed like a lot more princessy or girly and feminine and I feel really put together and I feel pretty. I talk, especially like now, I talk a lot more smiley and it's a lot more like flowing and put together and a lot more formal. And if you go to like my vlogs where I'm just doing my everyday thing, I'll be like, oh, I'm just popping into Tesco, do you know what I mean? I'll just be like really sort of relaxed and like quite cut with my talking. I don't feel conscious about it at all because I'm like, at the end of the day, That's just who I am. I can't help it. My sisters are like, sometimes I can't watch your videos because you sound too posh. I'm like, what was I wearing? But that leans into the whole be yourself thing, because that is me being myself. Sometimes I'm super feminine and girly. Other times I look it, but I don't sound it. Just saying. Moving on to actually creating the content, here's a few tips that will help you make it so much easier, quicker. You don't feel like you're doing as much work. There's a lot of work. Editing takes a couple hours, like, let's not lie. Depending on what you're editing, how snippy and cool you want it, and little effects here and there, you know, like the odd beep or mute or whatever to make it funny as well, add a comedic value to it. It is going to take some time, and there's no way around that. If you want to be a content creator, you're going to have to give up some time. But when it actually comes to filming the content, there is something that a lot of people don't seem to consider: bulk filming. We all do it. You wonder why your favourite content creators genuinely look the same in a couple of their videos, whether they're outfit try-ons or doing their makeup, because we're not just filming one video a day. We would be there forever. We would have no content ready, especially if you think back, if I'm going on holiday the next week, I want some content to be able to post freely while I'm away. I'm going to bulk film before I go to ease my workload while I'm away. For example, I'm going to narrow it down for you. I'm going to take one routine that you can split into 8 videos. And that is getting ready for the day and then getting unready in the evening. Sounds like it would be 2 separate videos, but you can make it 8. I'm going to tell you how. The first video is you doing your skincare. One separate video. That can be a chatty get ready with me. That can just be you doing it with a cute audio in the background, a trending audio. Regardless, skincare is one video. Makeup, you can split that into 2 parts. You can do it as one separate video and have 7 videos, or make that a 2-parter, because we know it's a lengthy process depending on what you're doing. Make it a story time. That's an easy way to make it a 2-parter. Do a Reddit story if you don't have your own. They tend to do quite well. We love listening to these crazy stories while someone's, you know, sort of doing their makeup. It helps your followers engage because they're interested in the story, but also the other ones who want to actually watch the makeup will engage with that. Double the engagement. 2 videos out of that, maybe even 3 if you've got a really good story. I've done that in the past. You can even make a separate video out of that if you want to focus on one particular product. Setting spray you use, you can do a 20-second video of you showing the setting spray, doing it, showing the final result, boom, done. That's an extra video. Lip combo, any separate little product, you can make that a separate video. Then doing your hair, that's a separate video. Styling your hair, your makeup's already done, so your face is done, do your hair. Then your outfit is another video. Get dressed with me, pick my outfit. There you go. Once you're completely ready, you could have already done a transition at the very start after you've done your skincare, or before. Finish the transition. There's another video. And finally, get unready with me. Take it all off. Take the makeup off, take out your hair, get dressed into your PJs, maybe even an evening routine. There, out of just a basic normal day-to-day thing of getting ready and getting unready, we've made 8 videos, give or take. Bulk filming. That to me personally is making sure that I can have time for myself during the week, because I'd be like, okay, right, I'm going to film on these 2 days, I'm going to film this, and then those other days I'm going to do emails, and then that day I'm going to have a day off. Even splitting up vlogs, like come shopping with me, like a generalisation of all the shops that you went into, and maybe focus on another specific shop for one vlog. For example, Primark. People love a focused Primark vlog. Love to see what's new in Primark. We all do. This leads me on to my next point. When you're officially starting out, you're ready to start posting content, have a bulk ready to go. So you're not constantly playing catch up with yourself. You post that first video, maybe it does well, and you're like, oh, okay, right, I need to get on and make the next one. And then, you know, you're filming either that night or the next day, because you might have work, other commitments, and you might not be able to film it straight away. By the time you've edited it and posted it, it's already been a couple days. And even though it's a bit of a cliche, you do need to be consistent. Posting at least once a day. There is, you know, 2 to 3 times and etc, etc. At least once you're still being active. So have that bulk ready, so that way you can get it out, and while that's being pushed out, you can be filming your next bulk of content after that's been used. It helps. And that does lead me on to my next point of consistency. Like I said, 1 post a day is completely fine, but this is the way that I strategize it for myself. So for TikTok, I do 2 to 3 videos a day and at least 1 story, because that's what TikTok tends to push out. That's what TikTok's looking for in its algorithm. 1 story, 2 to 3 times a day. Perfect. Posting times really doesn't matter. I mean, it does depend on your followers. You can look at your analytics and see when they're most active. I tend to think of it as, you know, when people get home from work and they pick up their phone, when people are on lunch breaks, when people first wake up, they go on their phone. You know, even at like midnight, late posting is something I always forget about, but that's when most people are scrolling on their phone. Things to think about. Instagram, I tend to go for 1 feed post a day, whether that's pictures or reels, and at least 3 stories a day, because the stories are going to keep your followers, oh, yep, they've just popped, oh, okay, right, I'll quickly go and check their feed while I'm at it. Just keeps reminding them that you've got a profile they should go and see. And for YouTube, I personally not recently. Do 1 YouTube video a week. That's more than enough for me now. I don't need to be posting more than that because let's be honest, I don't even have 1,000 subscribers yet. I'm not posting 5 videos a week. I could, but I would totally burn myself out. So 1 video a week on YouTube is absolutely fine. Now you're probably thinking, okay, I need to post like 2 to 3 times on TikTok. I need to post this on Instagram and that and that. How do I keep track of it all? What if I forget? What if I've been so focused on posting free TikToks that I completely forgot about Instagram that day? Calm down, don't panic. This was me a couple of months ago until I got this. This one thing is going to solve that problem, hopefully. A notebook. Something so simple, £2-3, or at least they used to be in Wilko. I got this, I think in WH Smith for £10. £10 for a notebook? Really? Ridiculous. Anyway, good notebook, or you can do it on Notes app on your phone or make a spreadsheet or a Word document. I find personally the old traditional way of writing down a list and making the little box next to it with cool fun coloured highlighters, my little pastel ones, so I can tick the box when I'm done. Oddly, one of my favourite parts about creating my content is knowing that once I've posted it I can highlight my little box and say that it's done. And that helps me keep track of it. I'm excited to obviously cross it off, finish like ticking off all the little boxes. It's like that little bit of satisfaction. Maybe it's OCD, I don't know. Just feels nice to know that you've completed like a to-do list of the day. I'll show you an example of how I set mine out. This is my list actually for today. I start off with TikTok. I always use the same highlighters for each one, and then throughout the books when I write like a specific content brief for a brand, if it's for a TikTok video, I'll highlight the main title in that colour so I know what videos or what content's for what platform. To TikTok, I always do at least 1, 2 or 3, and then I just write like sort of mini title, something that I'll probably remember. It doesn't have to be oddly specific. And my little box that I get to tick off once it's posted. Then over here I just write how many stories I want to post that day, and it's normally 1 or 2. Doesn't need to be that excessive for TikTok. Instagram, I always do at least 3 stories, and I tick those off once I posted them, and they can be literally anything as long as I've posted on my story. And then the main post that I'm going to do that day, whether it's a reel or a main feed post. And YouTube, sometimes, as you can see, it's actually none if I don't need to post on that every single day. The odd time in between videos I'll post a short. I also, as you can see, add like to know it if I want to remember to post on there, or Pinterest, etc. Just a good way to keep track and know that you've posted consistently without having to like rack your brain and be like, did I do that? It's definitely something you should consider when you start getting brand collabs or paid partnerships, because you can date when they need to be posted, and that way you won't forget and miss a deadline and possibly a payment. That's not good. And just quickly, the obvious one again, use trending audios. Trending for a reason, use them. Whether it's over you doing a dance, doing your makeup, putting an outfit together, anything. Simple videos. While you're filming them, you don't have to talk, or you don't have to have any background noise on, so you can listen to music or a podcast while you're filming, which I find so fun about this job. And then at the end, you just pick a trending audio to go over the top. It's going to boost the engagement. It's going to push it out to all those people who have been listening to that music, just in general, because the sound's already got like 1 million views. Chances are, if TikTok's noticed that you've used that audio, they're like, oh, here's another one to go on that trending list. Remember, engagement. That's one that I quickly want to touch on. If you show the platform, whichever one it is, TikTok, Instagram, etc., that you like to use their features and you know how to like other people's posts, you can comment on other people's posts, share them, save them, etc. It'll be like, oh, you're doing that for other people, I'll make sure I send other people to you to do the same. It's a two-way street. I always use the 10 post 10 method. 10 minutes before I post, so for instance either on TikTok or Instagram, they're my main two, I will go through and engage. Pretty simple. It's not hard work. It's something that you'd normally be doing anyway. You're normally scrolling and checking your feed anyway. Just while you're on there, make sure you like some posts, comment on a few people's things. They can be super simple, like love this, oh my god that outfit's so cute, anything super simple. Just show the platform that you know how to use their features and you're using them regularly, rather than being selfish like I was a couple months ago. I didn't realise I was doing it for a while. It's just going on the app, posting, coming off the app. And I know that that's easier said than done. I was working in retail and, you know, I'd have a break. That's when I'd post. It's sort of midday. It was perfect timing. I quickly run out to where there was Wi-Fi, post, and then come back in, because I didn't have time to sit around and engage. And that's perfectly fine. But if you do have the time, or even just 5 minutes or even 2, just quickly show the app, that you're willing to use their features, you're not being selfish and just posting it for your own means. Then post, and then after you've posted as well for another 2, 5, 10 minutes, engage again, comment, follow, and especially this is a great time if people are going to start commenting and engaging with you once you've posted, reply to those comments. Don't do what I did. I used to leave them for a couple hours and then go back and like comment to them all at once, like reply. As soon as people comment, give it a couple minutes, reply. Just engage instantly after you posted that video. Again, prove to the app that your content is worth pushing out because you know how to use the app. That was so long-winded, but basically just it's a two-way street. You engage, other people will engage. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Finally, we have come to the last leg of this video, which is reaching out to brands and getting brands to notice you. It's the fun part of content creation, let's be honest. It's the most exciting part. Getting sent free PR, your favourite brands sending you their new releases without you even realising it. Sometimes parcels just turn up at your door because they already have your information from sending you stuff in the past and you're like, oh my god, I wasn't expecting this. This is so much fun. And gifted collaborations, paid collaborations, and turning your loved fun hobby into a full-time career. For some people, maybe not all, that's the end goal. Well, I'm going to teach you a few little tips and tricks of how to reach out to brands and how eventually you just get them to come to you. You haven't got to do much work. Tag them. No matter what it is, if it's an Instagram post and you're wearing an outfit, you've got a different bag, shoes, dress, or whatever, tag all of those brands. Even if you have 2,000 followers, even if you have less than that, okay? When I only had like 500, I was tagging every single brand that I was wearing. Some people think that, oh my god, do they really think they're going to see that? They could, literally could. How do you know? You could have 50 followers. You tag, I don't know, for example, Pretty Little Thing in the dress that you wore on a night out on Saturday, and Pretty Little Thing like that picture. They comment and say, wow girl, you look fab. May even then hop into your DMs and say, oh, would you maybe want to be sent a dress for free that you then post? I know that right now you're thinking that's literally never going to happen. It does. One of my first ever like gifted collaborations was with Tanologist, which I thought was so cool, and I still think it's really cool now. Like I still love their tan to this day. I literally have it on my hands. It was back when I had 30,000 followers on TikTok, which is a lot easier to get on TikTok and Instagram. I completely understand. Reached out to me, I think via Instagram. Is it via or via? Does anyone really know? They DM'd me and were like, we love your TikTok content. We'd love to send you some products to try, and you just make a little video of you trying them. And I was like, oh my god, yes, please. Okay, it is that easy. I had not tagged them or anything. I hadn't used them before. I'm just saying it does just sort of happen. They just come across your content and think, they look like the right sort of person we're looking for. So tag them. I just realised that that anecdote didn't quite work because I hadn't originally tagged them. Bear with, let me think of another anecdote.
A few moments later.
Okay, I thought of an example. Sadly, this has not turned into a collaboration. I wish it did, but I don't actually think that she does them. If you've been on this channel before, or you've been on my TikTok or Instagram, you all know that one of my favourite YouTubers ever is Freddie My Love. I think she's gorgeous. She's got a clothing brand called Flossy by Freddie, which I absolutely adore the clothes. I have a few sets myself, and I've posted in them on Instagram and tagged the brand, and they've reached out a couple times in my DMs asking if they can use my pictures on their feed, use them on their homepage on the website. It's that easy. The brand knows about me, they use my pictures, and they're going to give me credit. They're going to tag my Instagram if they post it on Instagram, etc., on the stories, and that's going to drive people to my page knowing that I like the same things they do because they're looking at that brand. Savvy? If you're doing a get ready with me and you use a bunch of skincare and makeup products, tag each brand and write the name of the product and the shade. Not only is that going to help your followers when they're like, oh my god, what blush did she use? They can go straight there and find it, but also the brand will be notified that you tagged them in a video. They'll then look at that video and hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe reach out and say, oh, I've noticed that you've used da-da-da-da-da. Would you like to try the collection of the rest of them? It can happen. Tagging the brands in your Instagram post of what you're wearing, tagging the products in a TikTok that you've used. Not only does that draw the brand to your content because they've noticed that you've tagged them in a video and they've seen that you're using it, but it also allows your followers to gain that level of trust because, say for instance, it is one of those cases where you've posted about a product that you've been using and then the brand reaches out and you end up doing a gifted or a paid collab with them. Your followers have already previously seen you using that product without being paid or without being sent it or any kind of link to the brand at all. They know that you genuinely like it and you've used it prior to that. It's a little bit of loyalty. They can trust you. They know that you already liked it before the brand told you that you need to post about it. And finally, actually reaching out to the brands you want to work with. All of these tips apply for both TikTok and Instagram. They're your main outreach to find... It's the bird in my vent again. Oh my, I've lost my train of thought now. All of these tips apply for both TikTok and Instagram, which is your main outreach to find brands. They're literally the brand's social media. The brand's social team manage that social media. Quickest way to get in touch with them. Brand social media teams are normally the one who scout out the influencers looking for collabs, take on paid partnerships, etc. That's your quickest way that you're going to get in touch with them if you don't initially have an email. For both, the DMs. Sounds really tacky, I think, initially. Honestly, just sliding into their DMs, whether it's TikTok or Instagram, just give them a simple pitch. This is a little example, sort of template that you can use of what I sometimes put out to brands. Just saying, hi, this is me, this is my content, and whether it's on Instagram or TikTok, they can already instantly just click the message, go straight to your profile, talk about the sort of content you create, whether it's beauty and lifestyle, fashion, travel. It's even better if you can pinpoint a product or a clothing item from that brand that you actually specifically want to promote and why you think that your audience and you would benefit from doing this partnership. And at the end, ask for an email to carry on the discussion, make it a little bit more professional. That's then when you can start giving them insights and analytics from your pages and examples of content that you've posted for other brands, or just organic content that you've created in order to give to brands to show what you can do even if you haven't had paid partnerships or gifted collabs in the past. It's definitely something I recommend if you want to start reaching out. Have some curated, like a little album of content, whether they are genuine collabs, you've just used products that you already own, to create a video of an example of what you could create for the brand that you're reaching out to. And allowing them to see examples of your work or what you could potentially specifically do for them as well in terms of content is going to enable that little extra trust. They now know exactly what to expect from you and how their brand image is going to be portrayed. I think that's everything. I could probably come up with more if I'm being honest, because I've been doing this for like 3 years plus now. It's crazy. One thing I do want to say though is I personally now do little outreach to brands. They mostly come to me, and here is a few examples of, you know, PR or gifted collabs or paid collabs that I've had from, you know, doing this job. Disclaimer before I show you some of these, I am in no way trying to brag, I'm just trying to show you what possibilities are out there. Okay. Oh my god, it was a bit of hair, I thought it was a spider. Yeah. I got sent stuff by GHD. GHD know who I am. That is a flex in itself, I think. I got sent to Tim Hortons. I literally got paid to eat their food for free. It's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. That's possible. And finally, the biggest tip of all, just believe in yourself. Believe in your content. Believe that you can go the full mile, the stretch. You can make a home run. Whatever analogy you want to use, just believe that you can do it, and you can. Manifest, do all the crystals and, you know, whatever you need to do to ensure that you're going to be successful in this, because you are. You are. I believe in you. Anyway, this video's already been far too long, but if there is anything else that you think that I've missed that you would like any more tips on, or you have any questions about anything to do with content creation, editing, brand outreach, anything, etc., I'll be more than happy to help. Just pop it in the comments below and I'll be sure to reply. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm actually doing a giveaway over on my TikTok of these two beautiful dresses. The deadline closes on Wednesday the 19th of June, so head on over there to find out how to enter, and I will see you in my next video, which, fingers crossed, will be a week from now. I love you. Bye bye bye.